You will finally become happy once you achieve your dream life, once you attain the goals, the achievements that you have always been looking for. This is the message that is spread across self-help, social media, the hustle culture, the achievement culture. And for a lot of us, if you're like me, you may have thought that finally, once you finally reach that dream goal, whether that is living in a luxury penthouse or finally becoming a New York Times best-selling author or becoming one of those top people in your career field, once you finally get that marriage, you may have thought your whole life that once you tick off that checklist, then you can finally relax. Then you can finally feel the relief. Like, oh my God, things I have always wanted finally arrived. And it may be true, but only for some time. And if you are a woman who have been on this path of working hard for success, trying hard to get to success, working day in and day out, whether that is in you working on your business, building this 6-figure, 7-figure, 8-figure business or career, you may have thought that this is it. You just need to set your mind into that goal and pour in every effort that you've got into that goal, because once you finally arrive to that goal, then all your problems are going to be solved. All your emotional burdens are going to be lifted off. And that's how many people think. Until you actually get there and you start to realize that it's actually not the end. It was actually never the answer. Until you finally get there and you realize that life starts to feel emptier. Life starts to feel hollow. And in fact, it's even worse because now you don't know what you want anymore. You finally got the thing that you've been looking for this whole time. And you're supposed to be happy, but yet here you are. You don't feel as excited as about life. You just feel kind of like meh about it. After some time, you don't feel that stimulus, that excitement much anymore. Until you reach for that bigger goal, that bigger income, that bigger milestone. And again, you're back on that drive, back on that wheel of, oh, finally someday I'm going to arrive there. I'm going to feel alive again. But then we go and go and go and run on this hamster treadmill. It's like trying to catch onto a carrot. And once you catch it, it disappears in the horizon and you run for it again. And that is the state of inner suffering that many of us in the achievement culture goes through. And from what I have learned, not only from being in that hamster wheel myself in the past, caught in that hamster wheel myself in the past, but also seeing that as I read and hold space for women who've also been in that culture, what I've seemed to notice is that this dream life lacks substance. This dream life is in fact making us feel more hollow. This notion of once we finally get to the dream life, you're going to be happy. This whole thing is actually an illusion that has been sold to us, an illusion that has been sold to this along this industrial revolution, since this industrial revolution, and it has been sold to us by this capitalistic society that says if you buy this thing, look cool, look pretty, buy this latest gadget, have all these things in stack, then you're gonna feel like you're on top of the world. And you may feel it, but it's only for a blip moment. It does not last because it is not truth. It is not reality. And the reason why this dream life, this concept of this dream life and trying to work so hard toward it, and not just work so hard, but as in like we suffer our way through, as in feeling like we can't be happy yet until we get there. The reason why all these things makes us feel so hollow is because I've realized that one of the reasons is because we are trying to live a life that is not even true to us. And so, for instance, in your business, you may have worked so hard to build this team, to launch this project, launch this offer out there. But then when it comes to looking at your deadlines or your calendar, you feel a source of a dread. You feel like, I kind of want to escape from this. Or you may feel like you're waking up at this beautiful penthouse that you have always dreamed of. But instead of feeling alive, like you felt alive when you're taking pictures of it and showing it to Instagram, your Instagram followers, but then after a while, you've taken pictures of it all, you just feel like, okay, there's that, now what, right? And the same thing, you may be traveling all across the world, going to the vacations that you want, but then you still feel like, something is missing. Like the weather is not perfect. Somehow you need to fix this, you need to fix that. You forgot this in your luggage, or maybe the meal that the hotel brought isn't so perfect, right? Somehow this dream life something is wrong with this dream life. And that's what you will find, is that when you are attached to the idea that the dream life is supposed to make you happy, you will find that actually it never does. You will find yourself feeling like you never arrive there. Because the truth, my love, is that this concept of dream life is actually an illusion. It does not exist, except in our heads, except it's in the picture that has been sold onto us, except on our social media feed that has been painted onto us. But in reality, the dream life doesn't actually exist. The reality is giving us something that is way more whole, way more vast, way more complex, way more nuanced and detailed than this facade of what this illusion of what this dream life is that we picture in our mind. So it's kind of like, let's look at nature. Instead of actually looking at these beautiful trees and seeing their beautiful details, instead we're drawing this caricature of what a tree is, and we're drawing our own little stick figure of a tree or stick figure of a person. We have this little drawing inside of us, right? And we're thinking that, once you finally see that tree, you're gonna be happy. And then you actually look at reality, and oh my god, reality is actually way more gorgeous. But because you are so focused on that image that you have painted in your head, you can't see the real tree. You can't see the real beauty of the tree, because your mind is hooked onto this illusion that only when you see that tree, only when you see that little picture that you have somehow imagined or fathomed in your head, until you get there, you're not going to be happy. And that's the same thing that is happening. That's the reason why trying to so hard to get to a dream life and thinking that you will finally get your happiness once you get to the dream life cannot give us ultimate happiness, ultimate bliss. And what you'll see is that also the dream life is also painted by the society. It has been passed on to us. It does not actually come from reality, come through us. It does not actually come from truth. It does not actually come from this now moment. It's just a facade, an image that has been sold to us. And so we work so hard trying to look like someone who has the dream image, trying to look like someone who has this dream image and it has attained all these things in your dream image. We try so hard, but instead it becomes a outer shell, a hollow shell, because it's like a hollow shell because we're working so hard to look good in the eyes of other people on the outer shell, but on the inside of the shell, the life is gone. Who we actually are is gone. And that is where we become hollow. We become distant from life, distant from reality. And this notion of dream life tells us that all that matters is the external circumstance. Once the external circumstance is fixed, then all your emotional root issues, all your childhood trauma, they're going to be cured, when actually they're not. They will still be there. The things that we've been ignoring, the fears, the worries that are still in the back of our minds, the childhood wounds, the things that we've been hurt from, they are still hurting inside of us. And if we are only changing the outer reality, the external circumstance, these things are still intact. It's not going to change what's in us, which is the reason why the only thing that, my love, will dissolve these wounds that are actually causing us so much pain and so much suffering, they can only be met by us, not by the supposed dream life, not by the supposed image, by a house or a car or something else outside of you. And what you will see is that dream life is actually not the savior of it all. The dream life is something that actually doesn't exist. Because what's better than dream life is this now moment. The now moment that never leaves. The dream life can leave you, but the now moment never leaves you. And this now moment is the moment where you can experience all the love that you've been looking for, all the freedom, the joy, the abundance is looking for. The now moment is giving to you abundantly at all times. But if you're looking at outside of that in a dream reality, that dream reality is just like a mirage. You can't touch it, you can't feel it. It is not here. And what is not here cannot give us what we want. It is so simple, my dear. That is the reason why one of the first things that when it comes to finding inner peace and liberating yourself from the suffering, liberating yourself from worries, freeing yourself from worries and stress and overwhelm and all these things that weigh upon us, is to see that life is beautiful just the way it is, just like how you are also beautiful, perfect, and whole, just the way you are. Much love. My love, if this video resonates with you and you desire to come home to the peace of your soul, you are welcome to join the Peaceful Tea Room, which is a free Telegram community where I share exclusive voice note teachings, and you can also join other women who desire to experience peace wherever you go and wherever you are. To do that, the link is in the description box below.